sige.
Hello.
Because it's fun.
She's used to talking while eating bananas.
We have a special guest.
Hello. It's the third.
No, it's the second because you don't.
Oh,
have to
yeah,
upload
that's right.
The second.
It's the second. And so it's the second what? Podcast? Podcast.
It is.
Second podcast. I forgot what our name is.
We have a special guest.
We have a special. It's December 21, 2023, Thursday. We have a special guest, which is, what is your name?
You're going to introduce our
No,
guest.
just kidding.
But you're asking him his name.
You can have you can have a code name.
Yes.
Paul.
Yeah, we don't. Okay.
Who?
Paul.
Paul.
Yeah, nice name.
Hi.
Apostle.
Paul. Also Paul.
Hi, Paul. Sorry, I'm
Please
eating.
excuse-
I'm Paul de Guzman.
You don't have to give the last name.
Paul de Guzman.
Okay. All right. And so our topic is anything goes.
Well, as usual. By the way, a little bit of notice. You're sniffling because of the weather.
She doesn't have a nose right now.
I don't have a nose right now. I haven't had a nose since last week.
Why?
Because
What
I
did
got
you
sick.
sniff?
What kind of question is that? Do you want me to? Do you want me to give you?
Yeah.
What did I sniff?
Rugby.
See, tell me.
Rugby.
Tell me what are the possible stuff that you would
because
sniff?
wait. The actual reason why I'm like this is because of allergic rhinitis.
Okay, so there's
No.
nothing on your...
What causes
But
your
but
allergic
your
rhinitis?
no. But her question was,
What did you sniff?
what did I sniff? So now I have to remember every single thing that I've sniffed.
Okay.
Do not say anything. So,
Oh, no, I'm not saying anything.
that no. I don't know.
Oh, I'm assuming you've sniffed normal things.
Yes, of course. Of course. I'm not being defensive, but of course.
Well,
I like the way you look at her.
are there things that are not normally that you sniff also?
Like the smell of bagoong. It's like,
How about stuff that smells like bagoong?
No, I don't like sniffing those kinds of things. It's gross. Sorry, but that's gross. There. Stop it. Because I don't like the smell of bagoong. I'm allergic to bagoong.
But there are things or
I know.
that smells
So
like
if you don't like something, why would you sniff something that smells like it?
Well, it's not like you like fart, but you would be able to sniff it.
It's not
Is
like
it
I want to.
okay?
It's not like I want to sniff that. You know, I can always like cover my nose.
And that's why you always have a little hanky.
Yeah. Among other things. So, hi. Yes. Continue, please.
Okay, so anything goes, but I have a topic.
Yes. But because you mentioned earlier,
Yeah, what?
you wanted to ask it.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
All right.
So Paul.
Well, I'm debating on whether or not I should eat this.
No, I just want to
And
tell.
risk dying.
I just want you to hear what his take on
On what?
domestic violence. No,
Domestic violence.
It's normal. No, joke.
normal. No, what's the term for that? Testing the
Domesticity?
waters. Let's
Testing the
No,
waters?
cohabitation before marriage.
Okay, that's our topic for
Okay.
Christmas. For Christmas.
But how do you? What's your opinion with
It's
regards to
fine.
the mother?
It's fine as long as we have two consenting adults. Why not? As long as there's no domestic abuse, we're good.
Okay, I just want to hear. Okay, so you now know her take on it. What about you?
Well, I agree.
Because I like the way he explained it.
Okay.
I agree. Yeah, especially nowadays, the number of failed marriages. Actually, I do not have the data to support it. I do not have the exact figures, but as far as I know, a lot of marriages they tend to fail. I have friends that have failed marriages, or just like 1 year in the marriage. Then they already decided to separate. Not to mention the different celebrities that
Kind of like Kim Kardashian territory.
Well, no. Well, Kim Kardashian is an extreme.
72 days.
Like we have that version in the Philippines. I've mentioned earlier si Tom Rodriguez and
What the heck is Tom Rodriguez? Ah, the one
the
with the...
car level. He's a
Oh,
Lasallian.
yeah.
Was that last year or this year?
last year.
Why do you have to put
No, because
Let's-
at least there's a
Yes.
common ground. You
Yes.
might know the celebrity because she's an alumna of La Salle. They got married and after 3 months they got separated already. That's why I do believe that cohabitation is well. Morally speaking, if I'm going to consider my religion, of course I'm not I do not want to support it as much as possible because it goes against my belief in religion. But when practically speaking, it is best to cohabitate first before you get married because there's a lot of issues that are different when it comes to people who have a relationship, boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, and a relationship between a couple who's already married. Of course, the responsibilities, the obligations, the commitment would change, and I believe that a lot of the reasons why those marriages fails because they really do not know if they're really compatible. Because it's not like you'll be able to know that if you're really compatible, if you're just like boyfriend, girlfriend. It's different.
Best foot forward.
It's because of course same thing that she mentioned. Best foot forward. It's always best foot forward when you're in the right. When you're not living together. Unlike when you're already together, you really get to know the person. And for all you know, there are a lot of instances nga wherein they do not know that the guy is some kind of a psychopath or criminal. There's a Netflix movie regarding that. She married a guy who has a very promising career. Parang he has a good career and at the same time he's studying in a prestigious university in the States only to find out the guy is a murderer. There's a specific Netflix.
Is it with the wife of Ashton
Kutcher?
Kutcher, the girl, Mina?
I have no idea.
The
Who's
ex
Mira?
of the ex of
I
the
remember-
guy.
Demi Moore?
No, not that
new
far back.
girl.
Not
No,
that-
she's-
Mila
no,
Kunis.
Yes,
Mila Kunis.
Is that the movie?
Mila Kunis ano yata
The-
yun eh.
the luckiest
Ted
girl on
Bundy?
earth.
Is that Ted
Is it-
Bundy?
no, I mean
Zac
the
Efron?
movie you're talking about. Is
Ted
it the
Bundy.
luckiest girl on earth?
No, I
Or in the
forgot.
world, something like that. I forgot
Maybe.
the title.
I just forgot the
Okay,
That's a
anyway.
Ted Bundy thing. Because there was one girl, I remember there was one girl that he failed to entice to come to stay with him. So he wasn't able to kill. There was one girl.
Anyway, go back.
And so that's the point. You won't know how the person acts really in closed doors if you guys are not really cohabiting and a lot of marriages kasi it's like a surprise. It's like a box of chocolates, like what
Never.
like what Forrest Gump said, diba?
Life is like
My mom said, life is like a box of chocolates. You'll never know what you get.
But I have a question about
Yes.
that. This is just one thing that I've been thinking about because I'm totally okay with that. I have no problems with it. Don't you think that sometimes when you're too familiar with each other, for example, not you, but two people who are together, who are living together, what if would they still know that they really want to be together, or they want to be together because it's familiar?
Could I ask you a question with regards to that?
Yes.
Is it a negative thing that you guys want to be together because
you're
it's familiar?
Not really. I'm just wondering about it. Because sometimes, there are even married couples, they're together. Not because they're still in love with each other, but because they're familiar. And it's comfortable. There.
Is that a bad
So
thing?
that's why it's not a bad thing per se, but sometimes one of them sometimes both, decide to look for something a little bit more
Something
exciting.
right.
Similar to how serial killers work.
No more mystery. There's no more mystery.
Could you give me an example of that? A little something
Okay, it's
that's a
getting
little
more
bit more
interesting.
exciting.
Like for example, they've been married for let's talk about because married people are normally together. They cohabit. So let's say of the people are already married and they've been married for like 20 years. 15 to 20 years, for example. And they married young, a little bit. Maybe. Actually, even if they married a little bit older, it's still the same. So, there will be times that the guy would look for something more exciting in other women. Or the girl would look for something more exciting in other men. Something new.
Okay.
So, is that...
But if that's the case, like the years that you guys are together is not it's not even a factor because you could also look for somebody who's more exciting 1 year into the relationship, 2 years in the relationship. So I believe every relationship is susceptible to that thing, not only the couples that are already together for a long period of time.
Okay.
Because it doesn't matter if we've been together like 20 years or a year. When I see somebody who's more exciting for whatever
Yes.
reason, it's still
You'll always meet someone better.
diba? So, you'll be always susceptible to that. What do you call this? Temptation. Regardless of the length of the relationship, or isn't it?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's really a factor. And a lot of people get bored quickly and easily.
How do you not get bored? Like for example, for two people, how do they not get bored? Do they date each other like every week? Do they have a date all the time? Like how do they keep things a little bit
like
more
what you're bringing up earlier, that it's familiar, it's comfortable. I personally believe that it's a good thing because being comfortable and being familiar actually
Because you're being yourself.
it actually helps you get rid of the boredom in a sense, right? Because it's not really boring if you're familiar. It's like when you're tired, or where do you prefer to go? Of course, you want to go to your house, right? Because it's comfortable and it's familiar. That's why a lot of people, when they go outside or they are at a place wherein they're not familiar, some people tend to have a hard time sleeping because it's not familiar.
I'm one of those people.
And even with, when they want to defecate or whatever. So,
They wanna poop.
They wanna poop, right? Some people couldn't do it if they're not at home
Yeah.
because it's not comfortable and familiar. Yeah. With regards to your question earlier, I do believe that it's a good thing that they stay together because they're comfortable and it's like you're choosing between an exciting thing and a comfortable familiar thing.
Is there any so we've established that we're good. Okay, so I also think it's okay. Yeah, totally okay. How should I say this? How do you prevent? How does a person involved with that kind of arrangement prevent straying in a way? How do you prevent straying? Or is it like whatever you want to do, you're free to go? How does it work?
You could go the emotional route, or you could go the practical route.
All right.
Okay, expound on that.
Practically, of course, practically speaking, you have to check where would you gain where would you gain more advantage, or what would give you the more advantageous situation. If you're going to choose between the two, right? The exciting one or the comfortable and the You have to
Familiar.
You have to check the opportunity cost of the two situations.
Eh, kun, okay.
If I go to
I
the
totally get that. We're
if
good.
I go
yes.
to the exciting thing, would I get the best of the best situation? Would it give me the best situation? Or I could, stick with the comfortable. It's kasi minsan it's not like you could enjoy both worlds, right? You should really choose one. And it's a touch move already once you've chosen one. You go to the exciting one, but there's no security, there's no
Too much
right?
risk.
At least even though it's not as exciting as the other one, if you choose the one which is comfortable, at least you're comfortable. That's
Yeah,
why
some sort of security.
I treat it as a good thing because when it's comfortable and comfortability and familiarity is a really big aspect of a relationship, right?
Yeah.
It's more or less a good enough reason to stay. It's a substantial reason to stay. So it would work for your benefit, for the benefit of the relationship, right? So that's the practical way. It's
But you
like
said earlier, yes.
it's like this. If I have a girlfriend for like a decade, and all of a sudden I got the chance to flirt with famous somebody like
Someone
Miss Universe, like Catriona Gray.
Okay.
Well, honestly speaking, of course, Catriona Gray is more exciting than my current relationship, right?
I doubt it though, but okay.
But it's exciting because you're going
new.
to it's
Did you say that?
it's new and it's
No, because...
why? What's with Catriona Gray?
No, nothing. We're not talking about that.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
And then it's exciting because it's not every day that you would be able to flirt and date with a Miss Universe, right? So it's definitely more exciting, or for whatever your doubt is. But that's just my
It's like true.
That's just my.
It's like a trophy thing.
That's just my justification why it's exciting. So, compared to but I have to check. Is it going to be tantamount to the relationship, the 10-year relationship? Would I be willing to throw the 10-year relationship for that exciting thing? Especially when it's just going
Yeah.
Is
to
it
be a
worth it?
fling. Is it
It's
worth
worth
it? So,
For you, maybe.
Mhm.
But not everyone. The problem is not everyone thinks like you.
And that's the truth. I agree. That's the reason why a lot of people commit stupid mistakes, right?
Because he would consider long term or short term consequences.
Because if you will consider that, at the end of the day, you'll get the short end of the stick. So it's not good for you.
Well, it would be great if the two people actually agree on that, right? Because sometimes, and I see this a lot of times already. They're living together, even if they're living together, but then suddenly after a long time, one of them decides, no, I'm going to. That person chose the exciting one, right? For example, then what will happen to the one left behind?
That is the reason why I prefer cohabitation than going straight marriage. Because when you're already married, it's not like you're not susceptible to the issue, the scenario that you mentioned.
Okay.
But when you're already married, then somebody just all of a sudden decides that I want to go to the exciting thing or the exciting choice. But you guys are married and we do not have any divorce here in the Philippines. So
That's why
it
they
creates
get
a
married.
big
Just kidding.
so it creates a
Yes.
bigger problem, right? But when you guys are just cohabiting, right? Then suddenly the other guy, the guy or the girl wants to choose the exciting choice. At least, I'm not saying it's not painful, no? I'm not saying that it's not emotionally draining or stressful. But at the very least, you guys are not married.
No stress. You just go leave.
It's just emotional stress, but
Yeah.
no like stress fixing the papers. How about the properties? How about
But the properties, yes, because I remember we have, what is that? Common law something.
When it's common law, it's just basically
Does it apply?
co-ownership. It's just basically co-ownership.
Yeah, so all of the things that you own like together.
Yeah, it's different when you're married, especially when it's an absolute community. What's mine is yours, what's yours is mine. So, what about the things that the guy did not contribute with, or the other party did not contribute, even a cent or a single right dime? Then you have to divide it also. So it's got very problematic.
That's correct.
At least if you're not married, going back to the point, it's better, right?
Okay.
At least you
In that context, yes.
you have to have a you'll be given a like an exit jail card, something like that.
Get out of jail.
Get out of
card.
jail card, the monopoly.
Yes.
Right. So, which is going to be better compared to, and a lot of times that scenario is usually happening in couples, right? That they say that nangabilang
What?
Isn't that
nangabilang
dying?
bahay.
Nanga
Nangabilang
bilang bahay.
Oo,
Isn't it nangapit bahay?
Nangapit bahay just went to the kapitbahay. Nangabilang bahay, ibig sabihin
Nanga bilang
Isn't that
Nest.
dying?
nest. I mean,
nangabilang buhay, yun buhay. I'm just saying bahay, not buhay.
Pugad.
Three people
Nest.
who's not good in Filipino,
pugad.
using Filipino idiomatic expressions.
Nangabilang pugad. Di ba
This is
there's something
hopeless.
like that?
Pugad.
Nangabilang. No, the idiomatic expression for somebody cheating or if your spouse cheated on you is nangabilang bahay.
Pero some people also use
Yes,
pugad.
nangabilang bahay.
Nangabilang pugad.
No, I believe in myself rather than believing in you when it comes to Tagalog.
Nangabilang
I beg to disagree, ha?
nangabilang bahay.
Isn't it nangaliwa?
Naniningalang pugad.
Nangaliwa
Is it
eh.
pugad?
Nangaliwa is
I
not.
don't know.
Nangaliwa isn't even an idiomatic
I
expression.
know,
don't know.
naniningalang pugad is courting someone.
Oo, nangabilang bahay.
Nangabilang bahay. Because you went to another house that isn't yours.
Yes.
Kasi it's attached to the sumakabilang buhay. When you say pag sumakabilang
I thought it's
buhay,
like, yeah, technically
when you
going
say
to a different
sumakabilang
house.
buhay, it means your husband is already dead.
Yes.
So, as a joke, they're using it, sumakabilang bahay.
Sumakabilang.
So, your husband is not dead. Your husband is not dead.
Bilang.
But,
Yeah.
ibig
Not my
sabihin,
husband. I don't have husband.
I mean,
the
the
person's
person
husband.
is not
For
dead.
the record, he doesn't have a husband.
The person is not dead.
Sumakabilang
Bahay.
bahay.
The person is not dead, but that person cheated.
Sumakabilang bahay. Not dead.
Actually, it came from sumakabilang buhay. Then
Okay,
they
yes.
turned it to a
So
sumakabilang bahay
So
thing.
the person
Sumakabilang buhay dead.
sumakabilang bahay.
Is the person who cheated.
He transferred
To a different household.
Because he
different
was
family.
nangangaliwa.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
Sumakabilang.
Thank you.
It's difficult
After a
to,
very long.
it's difficult to talk about Filipino stuff when you guys are not good in Filipino, right?
Well, sorry, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I'm very sorry.
Ang taong hindi
Marunong.
lumingon sa pinanggalingan ay may stiff neck. Hindi, like, the one with the language. Marunong magmahal sa sariling wika ay bano. Hindi, no. Ay,
Tao hindi marunong magmahal sa sariling wika.
mas malansa pa?
Higit.
Mas
Higit?
malansa pa. Mas
sa
masahol pa.
mas masahol pa sa malansang isda.
Masahol pa sa malansang isda. Okay. Okay.
So we have to learn our Filipino.
Yes.
So what's pandiwa in English?
Verbs.
So what's adverb in Filipino?
Pa,
Do not worry.
pang-abay.
I don't know it
I
also.
know
I'm just
pang-abay.
asking.
Pang-abay. I know that.
Don't ask me things
No.
I do not know.
I know. I'm sure you know this. What's that Filipino for noun?
Pangalan.
See, I told you. I know you know it.
Pangalan.
Because that's the only thing that I know also.
Adjective is Adjective.
Pang.
Pang.
Describe.
No. No.
It's like the show. It's like the show in Wawa.
Pang-uri.
It's like the show of Willie Revillame. Like what's the Tagalog for verb? Pan. I'll give you.
Pang-uri.
I know you do not know it. I'll give you the starting letters. P A N D. The guy answered Pandesal.
Okay. Can I
That
have another
works.
question?
Yes.
Okay, regarding that. How long is long for relationships?
Ooh.
In relationships, I mean, like, we're talking about cohabitating.
Yes.
Guys, if you can only
Good
see the look on
questions.
the guy's face right now, on Paul's face. Anyway, yeah. The tongue's sticking out.
The look on your face.
But it
I'm just
depends.
asking, how long is a long relationship? What's wrong with my question?
It depends. It depends on the two part.
Wait. Is the
That's a
question
good
how
question.
long is a long relationship?
Before, I mean,
Before you
because-
die, man.
No, I mean, what I mean is, because if you are,
Before-
if the couple is cohabitating,
But okay.
Okay.
right? Because we're in that context right now.
Okay.
Hot seat.
Okay.
No, I'm not, I'm just asking, I'm
How
not.
long is long?
Do not ask me that.
No,
Why?
a
What's
relationship.
wrong?
What's wrong?
Yes.
Long relationship.
I'm asking a legit
I am
question.
not cohabiting with any. Well, with
No,
parents, but
just try to put yourself in the
my end?
shoes.
3
Oh,
years. 3 years.
3 years is enough.
3
Is
years
this a
enough.
relationship
Can I-
where,
can I ask
is this a normal relationship or a relationship where you guys are cohabitating?
Cohabitating.
A normal relationship.
How about when it's cohabitating?
I'm not sure
Why not sure?
because I get bored easily.
But
So that's, I think the reason why I was asking you that is because I
Isn't
get
it
bored
part of
easily.
our-
I do not have any proof or evidence or whatsoever experience about it, but I think people would not get bored easier in a cohabiting setup than a normal.
Why?
Because when you're cohabiting it's like you're already.
Is it more exciting?
It's not like it's more exciting. It has more elements than a normal boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. Because you have responsibilities, certain obligations and responsibilities in your house. Unlike the boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. So there are additional elements with a
Which makes it exciting.
live-in setup than a boyfriend-girlfriend. So I believe that again, I said that I do not have any basis, but I have a feeling that people would consider longer periods of time ng cohabiting than a boyfriend-girlfriend setup, because in the sense there are a lot of families that the parents are not married, diba? And it's like they're just cohabitating, but their relationship lasted for long periods of time.
Yeah.
Because they've already considering themselves as they even some people that cohabits with the child or children, they even call themselves sometimes papa and mama, right? Ma, pa, even though they're not married. So I do believe that it's easier to last in a live-in scenario for couples than a without marriage than a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. So I think to answer the question, which is how long is long, it's
Because
going to be
at
short.
one point, I mean, at one
It's
point,
going to be shorter
people would
for-
expect, or I mean, they expect to get married at one point. So
Because
I mean,
when you're in a
how-
live-in situation, it's like already it's like you're already in the finish line. You just have to cross it. While when it's a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, you're still in the race.
So what is stopping them from crossing the line?
Maybe different reasons, but of course it's just if you're already if you're already cohabitating, it's a matter of just tying the knot.
Yes.
Basically,
So-
because everything that you're
It's the
doing is like
question.
being done by husband and wife already.
Yes, yes.
Unlike the other side of the spectrum, because there's I do believe that there's a heavier and bigger commitment in a
Marriage,
in a
really.
live-in setup than a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. So it would be a longer period of time, or it might even be forever already in a living setup, while it would just have a specific time frame for a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship before, if it doesn't go to the next stage, it should be over, right? Because it's a different, it's a
Yes,
different,
that's what I'm asking.
those are two different bananas. The one is lakatan, the other one is latundan.
Why do we have to always refer the bananas?
No, because you guys were eating banana earlier.
Okay, so
What's the problem with bananas? She loves bananas,
I like the bananas.
especially when it's sweet
Yeah.
and it's peeled.
Yes. Of course.
I'm thinking of another question that I forgot. You just asked.
I don't know what to ask. Because you're the one asking questions.
Yes, I was the one.
But yeah. So what about you? Do you have any questions?
But
He's used to be the one answering
Yeah.
questions.
But sometimes when we
Yeah,
talk,
okay,
we
okay.
ask
Yes.
very good questions.
Because I like his point of view. I mean, from
It's a different
the
point of
vantage
view, yeah.
Point of a guy, because we're always talking as girls.
Yeah.
So now, yes.
so if you'll
people,
be,
he's a
I
guy.
know, you told me earlier that 3 years is
Yes, that's
for
also
a
another
boyfriend-girlfriend relationship.
Why?
What? I know you're not in a live-in situation, Sarah. Just try
Are
to.
you?
No, I'm not.
Just try to just try putting yourself in the shoes of somebody who's already in that situation. How
What
do you
mean?
think?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Let's just pretend that you're in a cohabitating setup
But
or
okay.
relationship. Cohabiting. How long is long? Because you've answered 3 years
Yes, you
for
said
the
it
boyfriend
earlier.
girlfriend.
Until I get bored. It's that. Because
You,
I'm
but you.
It's me.
What
it's
about
me.
the other?
Because I'm this is my problem. That's why I don't have. That's why earlier I was asking you what prevents you from getting bored, right?
That's your problem.
Because that's my problem. Okay, so why is that my problem? What's the difference between sorry?
No, I thought of something
No, I just
very
look,
different.
No, I just look like this, but you know, but
what do you? What do you mean boring in a sense? Boring in what aspect of the relationship are we talking about?
Okay.
I do not like monotony.
Monotony of what? Part specifically of the relationship are we talking
Like everyday
about?
living.
Okay.
Routinary.
I don't like. I like certain routines.
Maybe you're doing something in the kitchen.
Yeah, but
Just
if it's like
over
the
and
same
over again.
every day, like why are you laughing?
No.
It's no seriously, because how should I say this? You may think that because I like research, it's boring. But I find that no. Just
okay,
just
I'm
hear me out.
listening.
Hear me out.
I'm listening. I'm just laughing.
The reason why I like reading research is because I find new things interesting.
Mhm.
There's always something new.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I find that there's nothing new that can be taken from a particular research, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. The same reason, for me, for example, I get bored of the routine. And then it's always like this, and I figure out, okay, so it's gonna be like, it's very familiar. It's too familiar. Like there's
It's
nothing
like Filipino
new.
movies, right? That
Yeah.
you would be able to know the
You can predict the ending.
ending.
Yeah. So, yes. So basically, I don't like that. So there should be always something new. I always like trying
So this is
something.
my
new. So the question, the
Okay.
question that you had earlier, until when, if you're cohabiting, okay? So
Until
until
Isn't
I
it
get
the
bored.
purpose of cohabitating is because eventually you might get married to the person. So that's why I was asking about the longevity.
Well, yeah. However, you said earlier like best foot forward,
Yeah.
right? So best foot forward when your boyfriend, girlfriend, it's always something new. Okay, so the other person, gives you a lot of reasons to stay, right? Because there's always something that's different. Yeah. But when you sometimes, actually, it's like that. When we get to know the person like flat out, like for a long time,
Nothing
and
to
then you
discover.
realize that there's nothing to discover anymore.
It becomes very dull.
It becomes very dull. So I have a problem with that.
No. How? But what is the difference with? How about when you're married? It's not like you're not susceptible to being
Yes.
bored.
here's the next part. Okay, so one of the things that I'm also okay with is not okay. It's more like I like the idea that I have a definite responsibility. When you are already married, you will have a responsibility. No, seriously, it's a legal responsibility, right? So you have legal responsibilities, and even if there is the monotony part of it, you will really have to push yourself to to achieve whatever, to not accomplish that duty that you have, and for me, I find purpose in that. I don't like monotony, but I like to have purpose. Now, if for example I am not married, then I can just go whenever I want. That's my problem. Okay, so for me,
Why is it a problem?
It's a problem because I will never be able to finish anything. I come, I go. Stop it. Stop crying. I knew you were gonna laugh.
No, I just like your perspective.
Right?
Yes.
You people come and go. So basically, why is he always like this?
I'm not even laughing.
Earlier you were laughing.
I'm agreeing with your.
I know,
with
but
your
look
statement.
on your face. Look on your face. If you can
Let it
only
go.
see, look on your face.
Okay.
So there you go. So it's that.
But isn't it part of marriage? I mean, the long term is, of course, you should
Yeah, but
accept
no,
that it's gonna be
no,
important
no, no.
at some point.
Because when you're married, you have a purpose. You have a duty
Yes.
to each
So
other.
are you saying that
You're
in-
legally-
when
you're
you're
legally-
cohabitating, there's no purpose?
There's no. You just have a duty to, no, not exactly duty. You have to make yourselves happier. There's nothing tying you together, definitely.
So there's no purpose.
No.
But I think the purpose of cohabitating is eventually marriage, right? Because you want to get to know the
That's
person.
the ideal.
I'm not saying that I'm okay.
I believe that's the ideal one. However, when you're already there, it's
You
not.
become more-
It doesn't always
you
happen.
become so comfortable. Is that
Yes,
what you're saying?
yes.
It's there, okay.
It kind of like that.
Yes, I agree.
I'm pretty sure he gets
that's a
whatever
valid
I'm
point.
getting.
But at the other side of the spectrum, again, is when you reach that point that when you're already married and you get the bored itching thing, then you want to get
I
out.
have children.
And no, a lot of people, even with children, they tend to still cheat and to
But they're not me.
going back.
But they're not me. So I tend to obsess over things and people.
But that's a problem with this with our talk. I
What?
no, I do believe that you're an extreme case.
Yeah.
And I also believe that I also is an
Extreme
extreme case. We're not perfect subjects for both sides of the spectrum.
Yes.
Because I'm really I do believe that I'm fitted for a living
That kind of
setup
setup,
because
yes.
we're working at extremes here.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when you said that, but that's not like me.
Yes.
At the same time,
Is
that's not
that
like
you?
me.
Yes.
So
We are not requiring anyone. To
but when we're talking about normal people, it's not like we're not normal. I'm just saying that
they are abnormal.
we are extremes at the other, both ends of the spectrum. But generally speaking, normal people, they tend to get bored, and even though they have responsibilities, they just fuck it, I don't care, I'll just go with the enjoyable choice. At the other side of the spectrum, and then so yeah, for normal people, I believe that live-in is still better in general, because I do believe that there are a lot more irresponsible people than responsible ones. And when there's already marriage into it, and they want to get out of the marriage, it becomes a problem. Because they are tied by the piece of paper, legally tied, but they would, who cares? I'll still do it. So what they'll do is get rid of the marriage and go in another live-in situation because they cannot marry anymore. Right? So it's a recipe for disaster, both emotionally and legally. Because if they get married, they cohabit with another partner and they get another set of, let's say, children, it would create legal problems, legal issues. You'll have a legitimate and illegitimate child. It creates a whole fiasco of problems.
By the way, speaking of children, For example, two people who are cohabiting together,
Mhm.
like they have a child. Is that a legitimate child?
Technically speaking, no.
So what will happen?
It's considered to be legitimate.
Yes.
But when they get married,
It's gonna be legit.
they could legitimize the child.
Okay, I see.
Mm.
Got it. But I do agree. So for most people, there are a lot of people who are irresponsible.
Because what you're saying, it comes from a person who's responsible.